Come a little closer? Yeah, right there. Listen closely. Today, we're stepping into the shadows to open a highly classified dossier for this explainer. We are diving deep into the inner workings of the Canadian Security Intelligence Service, CSIS. Specifically, we're unmasking the grueling, highly secretive recruitment machine behind their Human Intelligence Officer role. I'm going to be your guide as we shine a flashlight right into the darkest corners of this hiring process. So if you've ever wondered what it really takes to become a spy, prepare yourself, because the truth is far stranger and honestly a lot more exhausting than fiction.
Here is our evidence log for today. First, we'll shatter the Hollywood spy myth. Then, we'll navigate the bureaucratic gauntlet. After that, we'll look at the interrogation tactics and scoring, followed by the hidden lifestyle costs. Finally, we'll expose the polygraph controversy before I deliver the investigator's final verdict.
All right, Section 1, the Hollywood spy myth. Let's talk about expectations versus reality.
We all know the Hollywood fantasy, right? It sells us high-speed car chases, getting instantly recruited in some dark, rainy alley, and glamorous, fast-paced spycraft. But the dossier reveals a completely different truth. The CSIS reality is a punishing, multi-year bureaucratic slog. It doesn't require a perfectly tailored tuxedo. It requires extreme patience, mountains of paperwork, and absolute, unquestioning compliance. The thrilling expectations you might have of an intelligence career, they crash incredibly hard into this rigid reality.
Turning the page to Section 2, Navigating the Bureaucratic Gauntlet. Consider this your survival guide to the evaluation machine.
Applicants face 6 agonizing hurdles in the pipeline for this role. Step 1, standardized tests for critical thinking. Step 2, a pre-screening questionnaire. Step 3, a rigorous HR phone interview. Step 4, a written communication test. Step 5, the National Assessment of Competencies and Knowledge, or NAC, which is done in person. And finally, Step 6, a grueling full-day assessment center in Ottawa, featuring role plays and tabletop exercises. Now here is a truly chilling detail from our sources. As of April 2026, applicants only get 2 attempts at the testing and assessment days. If you fail on your first try, you face a mandatory, unappealable 1-year waiting period in the shadows before you can even think about trying again.
Think about modern industry standards for a second. If you apply to a top tech firm or a private investigator role, you expect agile hiring, a process that takes weeks, transparent feedback, maybe a remote-friendly environment. But CSIS? They operate in an entirely different era. It's an archaic machine marked by intense opacity. There is absolutely zero work from home allowed. None. And it demands your physical presence, often literally requiring you to fly to Ottawa just to be tested. It's a massive friction point for modern talent.
Section 3 takes us behind closed doors, interrogation tactics, and scoring. Let's step inside the interview room.
If you actually make it to the interviews, you aren't just having a casual conversation. Every single word you whisper, every scenario you analyze, it's all being rigidly graded against 5 core competencies: critical thinking, communication, collaboration, adaptability, and integrity. To even prepare for this, you have to pre-map your past professional experiences strictly against these 5 pillars. Because believe me, your interviewers are using behaviorally anchored rating scales to score your every single move. Picture this. You're sitting in a cold room and they slide this hypothetical scenario right across the table at you. You have a source meeting with a contact who holds urgent information, but your shift is over. You have to meet them late in the evening, in a parking lot, on short notice, and there's a suspicious-looking group of individuals standing nearby. What do? This kind of rapid-fire scenario is designed to test your critical thinking and adaptability. They want to see exactly how you analyze ambiguous, high-stakes information when the clock is ticking and you have absolutely zero backup. Then, the tone suddenly shifts. Out of nowhere, they hit you with a deeply probing lifestyle question. Have you ever done drugs in the past 12 months? Have you ever tried any drugs? Why not? Look, this isn't just small talk. CSIS has a very strict directive on substance use. As our dossier reveals, if information surfaces about illegal substance use during the process, they will immediately terminate your application. Your integrity is completely under the microscope here. Next, they dig into your ethical flexibility. Tell me of a time when you had to do something that went against your beliefs or values. This behavioral question is carefully, purposefully designed to uncover how you handle internal moral conflicts. Because in the intelligence world, the lines are often blurred. They need to know if your personal values will compromise the mission or if you can adapt while maintaining operational integrity. Your best preparation strategy? Have examples ready where you navigated ambiguity without crossing any absolute ethical red lines. The absolute climax of this interrogation is step 6, the tabletop roleplay. You're given a fake badge, some brief facts, and just 5 minutes to prepare. You have to knock on a door, enter a stranger's office without an appointment, and pry for confidential information about their coworker. The actor sitting across from you is explicitly instructed to be incredibly uncooperative. They will aggressively challenge you. Are you the police? Am I under arrest? I want a lawyer. You have to maintain your composure, extract the intelligence, and survive being completely stonewalled.
Moving on to Section 4. The hidden lifestyle costs. Let's read the fine print of becoming a human intelligence officer.
Let's run the actual numbers on this reality check. The starting salary is firmly fixed at $87,459 during your developmental program. And if you actually secure the role, you are locked into a grueling 3-year probation period. On top of that, relocation is mandatory. They can transfer you literally anywhere in Canada just to meet their organizational requirements. And as we noted earlier, remote work is strictly prohibited. You are basically surrendering total control of your geography to the service.
The personal toll here, it weighs incredibly heavy. Look at these downside risks derived directly from the recruitment materials. You have to survive a 20-week unilingual training course totally isolated in Ottawa. You face forced relocation to unilingual or bilingual regions far away from your personal support networks. The job requires working out in the community, where you might be completely unreachable by your family for long stretches of time. And, quite darkly, the official conditions state you must accept potential exposure to abhorrent material. This is a highly managed career where the agency dictates your life.
Section 5 brings us to the most controversial and secretive stage of the entire clearance pipeline, the polygraph.
The polygraph is highly criticized. Listen to this whistleblower critique we pulled straight from the dossier. It was being administered by non-psychologists. Polygraph testing was increasingly used at CSIS to scope people out. This highlights a really severe systemic risk. We're looking at a national security apparatus relying heavily on an unscientific instrument to filter its human talent.
But honestly, it gets even stranger. Look at this absurd psychological trap set for applicants. Candidates are explicitly ordered. Do not conduct research on any aspect of polygraph testing. Any research you conduct may jeopardize your ability to be assessed. If you read a book about it, if you search the internet, or if you merely talk to someone who has taken one, you risk failing. You must walk into that interrogation entirely blind.
And that brings us to this massive, glaring contradiction, the paradox of secrecy. CSIS sternly warns applicants to tell no one but a spouse that they are applying. But simultaneously, during the suitability assessment, they demand you submit an extensive personal and family history questionnaire. You have to list all past employment in the last decade and provide extensive character references. It's virtually impossible to maintain total secrecy from your network while undergoing a massive, intrusive background check that literally involves them calling all your former bosses.
Finally, we arrive at Section 6, the investigator's final verdict: talent versus compliance.
So after shining a flashlight on this multi-year bureaucratic slog, the rigid scoring, the forced relocations, and the controversial polygraph traps, I'm going to leave you with this lingering question. Are these archaic, geographically punishing hurdles actually filtering for the brightest, most adaptable investigative talent? Or is this massive bureaucratic machine merely selecting for the candidates who are the most unquestioningly compliant? It's a dark thought to end our explainer on, but it's one you absolutely must answer for yourself if you ever decide to step into the shadows and apply.